Welcome to the Upside Podcast, where we help you get unstuck in your life and your business by elevating your thinking and provoking meaningful change from the inside out. I'm your host, Teresa Fled, and I'm so glad you're here. So today I want to unpack a concept about leadership that I think will really help you in your life, whether it's in your personal life, in your parenting, and certainly in your business with the people that you're leading. So Gary Keller's definition of leadership is absolutely one of my favorite. And what he says leadership is that it's teaching people how to think so that they can do what they need to do, so that they can get what they need to get or what they want to get when they want to get it. I'm going to say that one more time. So leadership is teaching people how to think so that, meaning the result of teaching people how to think, is that they can take action, they can do the things that they need to do to get the things that they want to get out of their lives when they want to get them. And so many times leadership is mistaken is exactly the opposite. It's teaching people what to think so that we can get them to do what we want them to do when we want them to do it. And really, leadership is always, at the end of the day, about helping the people that we're leading achieving their goals, their desires, their motivations. Even when they're working within our organization, at the end of the day, we have to be helping them achieve the things that they want to achieve out of life. And so that kind of begs the question, though, that's great. And how do we get really intentional and really purposeful then about actually teaching the people that we lead how to think? So I think parenting is the ultimate leadership lab. If you are a parent, you understand and know this. My girls are now 13, twin girls. And, you know, when they're young, it's a little bit different. It's the heavy lifting of parenting. It's exhausting, it's tiring, we're chasing them around. But as they grow and get older, it becomes the emotional side of parenting. And it becomes a time where we have to really, really tap into true leadership because it's not just about telling them what to do. It's about teaching them how to think. And so, I believe as a parent, my number one job, Tommy's number one job with our girls, besides loving them unconditionally, of course, is helping them learn how to make great decisions. Because we're not going to always be with our children. And at the end of the day, they're going to have to start making decisions. Even at young ages, they're going to have to make decisions when we're not present. And so we have to learn how to teach our children how to think so that they can do the things that they want to do or that they need to do so that they can get what they want when they want it. And so I believe Jesus is the absolute ultimate example of a leader who taught people how to think. And whether you are a believer or a Christian, you can certainly say that Jesus has had a profound impact on many people spanning thousands of years. And so I think it would beg to look at, okay, what kind of leader does that? How do you have that kind of influence over so much time? And if you look at the Gospels where Jesus was on the earth teaching, he actually didn't tell everybody what to think. He spoke in parables. All a parable is a story with a lesson. And in those stories, he taught people what the core values of kingdom living were. And he gave the framework, because can you imagine if every decision, everything you were to encounter in your life was written in the Bible? I mean, the Bible would be 1 gazillion pages long. Like, it would be absolutely impossible to list every possible scenario in our lives that we would ever deal with. So he gave a framework and he said, these are the core values of kingdom life. So righteousness, peace, love, generosity, faith, those are the core values. And so when we are teaching people how to think, it's so important that we understand what the core values are that we are leading with. So with our kids, one of the core values in the Flood family is that we make decisions on faith and not on fear. In your business, what are the core values for the team that you're running, for your organization? And when you start to help people understand and learn those core values, then you're teaching them how to think about your business, how to think about their role within your company, and they're able to make those decisions in a different way. The Millionaire Real Estate Agent book if you're not in real estate, it is a book of models that top agents used to net $1 million in their businesses. And that book was written over a decade ago. Much has changed in the real estate industry. Certainly much has changed with technology. But what is so interesting about that book is that it is still used by top agents today because it is the models for lead generation, for understanding the economics of a business, for understanding how a budget should work, for understanding the organizational hiring models. And those things actually haven't changed all of that much. And so a model, we hear a lot about models and systems in business. Well, a model really is a way of thinking. It is a framework of how to think about something. And a system is actually what to do. It could be a checklist. That's the simplest system there is. It's just a checklist of what to do. And so when we start, though, with models, we actually teach people how to think on their own. As I've coached agents for many years, I can't tell you how many times I've heard, just tell me what to do. Just tell me what to do. And that's fine. And then when they go do the thing you told them to do, they're going to come right back because we haven't taught them the models about how to think about something. One of the things that I hear oftentimes when I'm coaching a realtor about hiring and adding leverage into their business is that they're afraid to bring in somebody else because they're not going to provide the same standard or level of service. And what I also know is that when you start to teach the people that you hire and that you're leading how you think, the model for how you do business, then when they are in a scenario and you're not there, they're going to understand how you think about that. So Nordstrom is a great example. Nordstrom has a core value and a model that they teach their employees, that the customer is always right, that the customer comes first, that whatever it takes, we're going to make the customer happy. They don't have a manual of absolutely every scenario that could possibly somebody walk in the door with and how to handle that. They say, this is what matters the most, then go out there and make decisions based on the core values and based on the models. Systems are awesome, but systems should come secondary to understanding the framework of a model. The other way that I think we can teach our people how to think is by asking great questions. And if you have a great coach in your life, you know that they are amazing question askers. And again, sometimes we just want somebody to tell us what to do, and yet a great coach is going to stop and they're going to ask those provoking questions. And sometimes it can honestly be very frustrating when you just want somebody to give you the answer and they're slowing down and actually making you think. But when we lead somebody on a place of self-discovery, it becomes a really, really powerful thing. We're not just telling them what to think, we're teaching them how to think about that topic and leading them to that discovery on their own. And then the last thing that I would encourage you to do as you're teaching people how to think is think out loud with people. And I don't necessarily mean you're just going to sit there and talk to yourself constantly. That could be a little annoying. What I mean is that you mastermind and you brainstorm out loud with the people that you're leading so that they understand how you come to the decisions that you make. One of the things with Tommy and I, with our girls, is that and this is of course always done in an age-appropriate way with the information that they can handle, but that they understand why we make the decisions that we make as parents. The because I said so doesn't actually work long-term. It may get the immediate result, but it's not going to produce the kinds of people that are going to make those decisions again for themselves. They're only going to then do what we've asked them to do because of maybe consequence or because authority is in place. And so when we can actually explain to somebody why we've made a decision of doing something a certain way or how the process has been of coming to that decision, we're actually taking them on that journey and leading them into being better thinkers. So, as you are leading people in your family and in your business, I'm going to encourage you to be a leader that teaches people how to think. And yes, it's going to cause you to slow down because it's a lot easier just to tell people what to do. It's a lot easier and a lot faster, but it's going to promote massive change in the people that you lead. It's going to help them grow. And your leadership will absolutely go to the next level. So be intentional and be purposeful about teaching people how to think. And that's all I have for today. Thank you for joining me for another episode of The Upside. If you enjoyed today, I would encourage you to please leave a review and share this with somebody else who might want to grow their leadership. Until next time, I'm Teresa Flood, and this is The Upside.